Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Rocks, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, the Palace Lounge.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Good evening from Washington High School. Dark and stormy outside, clouds in the sky, but the stars are still shining here at Washington High School, and the only thing raining down will be jump shots, Dylan. Our countdown to tip-off brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road. Online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. Parsons. The undefeated Spring Mills Cardinals come to Charlestown to take on the Washington Patriots. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Aiden Sensabaugh is our cameraman. Back at the studio is Nick Verzolini. Ready for this one, Dylan. JV action just finishing up, so we're a little bit ahead of schedule, surprisingly, and both teams already getting ready to take the floor and start warm-ups in the 20-minute countdown.
Right, yeah, it's going to be a good one for Spring Mills tonight, I'd say. It's a game they come here on the road to Washington here in Charlestown, and I think this should be a game where we kind of really see what is the full range of the EPAC. I think Spring Mills seems like the best team. They're undefeated, number one in the state, as they should be. Jefferson's had some injuries. They lost to Martinsburg. That was the one team we probably would have said, are they on the same level? Let's see what happens when those two play each other. As a result of those injuries, Spring Mills right now stands alone at the top of the EPAC and at the top of the state. Washington so far this year, I think, has looked like probably the number 6 team out of the 6. And it's not really a slight towards them. They have some talented players. They have, in fact, DJ Bordley from Spring Mills transferred over to Washington this year. And, you know, Chet Gore from Jefferson, as we saw in the Skip Fowler. There's some talented players on this team, but they had some problems in the Skip Fowler when it came to getting the offense going, especially in that North Hagerstown game after the first quarter. It seemed like it was really tough for them to get a rhythm on the offensive side and get points up on the board. So right now I would pick the other 5 teams in a head-to-head matchup against Washington. That can change as the season goes on as we see the matchups. But that doesn't mean that Spring Mills is going to come out here and absolutely blow Washington off of their own home court. Washington, as I said, it's a talented team still. When I say you can see what the full range of the EPAC is, I think that Washington, if they are the number 6 team in the EPAC, we can see just how good the EPAC is, because I think that Washington's going to give Spring Mills more trouble than a good bit of other teams in the state would. As we see, 5 of the top 10 in the state right now in 4A are the top 5 of the EPAC, with Washington being that one that's not in it. So, if Washington can be competitive with Spring Mills, the other 4 teams against Spring Mills in the EPAC certainly can, I'd say. So that's what I mean when I say we can see the full range of what the EPAC has to offer here tonight.
Let's step aside, take our first 2-minute break here on the Parsons Ford countdown to tip-off. On the other side of that break, we'll have our Coaches interviews. This is West Virginia High School boys EPAC basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Craig Blair.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives. And when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer. But that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome back to Washington High School for EPAC boys basketball here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. It's now time for our coaches interviews brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the eastern Panhandle. Rock's is fast, fresh, and friendly. We'll start off with the head coach of the Spring Mills Cardinals, Luke Samples, followed by the head coach of the Washington Patriots, Ryan Miller.
Now joined by the head coach of the Spring Mills Cardinals, Luke Samples. Coach Samples, your team season continues to remain perfect. Get into a little bit of last week. What'd you like in that game against Martinsburg?
Yeah, I think the second half we really came out and played our game. Credit Martinsburg for the first half. They kind of made us, they slowed us down a little bit, if that makes sense. And then we came out and if they're going to press, we still have to attack them. And I think in the second half we did a better job of that, getting easy transition baskets and wide open looks. So. Last week, again, we got back into EPAC play. It's been a year. It's way different. Every team gives you their best shot, and I think we got used to that. In the second half, we pulled away.
Speaking of the EPAC being different, AP poll, coaches poll also comes out as well. You guys at the top of that top 10 list in both of those. And then 4 others, so 5 total EPAC teams. Just talk about how tough this conference really is this year.
Yeah, well, for us, man, it's a dream come true. To win a state championship is a goal, obviously, to get to Charleston. But to be number 1 unanimously in both polls, it's special. It shows the road we've been on. It's been really, really good. But, yeah, 5 out of the top 10, half the top 10 is the EPAC, and I think they got it right. We play different over here. It's a different style. Everyone has a different style. Like when you play Hedgesville, you know what style you're going to get. When you play Martinsburg, when you play Washington, Coach Miller's doing a good job bringing his style to Washington. Obviously, we have a style, and Jefferson has a style, Musselman has a style. So you're not playing just a basketball team. You're playing a different style with every team. So the game planning, the strategy, the scout becomes really important. I think that's a little different around the state. In the EPAC, you're going to play against a well-coached team that's disciplined every night.
And in tonight's matchup, you guys get to take on the Washington Patriots team with a winning record, but has been towards the bottom of the conference. Still a very talented team, though. What have you seen from them so far this year?
Yeah, number 6 in our conference is 5-3. That's pretty good. They're a good team. They have a lot of talent. Obviously, they have one of our guys last year who's one of our leading scorers in DJ Boardley. That kid can play. Chet Gore from Jefferson, he can play. They got a couple guys in, and then the Dolman kid that was here last year, the big kid, number 52. They have some pieces. Again, man, they can beat anyone on any night. And again, 5 years ago, I was in Coach Miller's shoes with some talent and just trying to piece it all together. And he will. And they're starting to. And there's some games that look really, really good. So, again, man, we got to come. We got to show up and play like it's Morgantown. And to us, they're number 2. We're number 1 tonight. I mean, that's how it is.
What are some of the keys that you're trying to make sure get executed tonight by your team to get the win?
Defense, man. It's all about defense for us every game. Defense and rebounding. Let's defend, rebound, and run. That's what we want to do. And then just, we've never been number 1. We've never played a game being number 1. So this is our first game as the true number 1 as the polls came out on Monday and Tuesday. So how will we do that? We play like we're number 1 and do what we should do, or will it be a battle the whole night? And we're expecting a battle. I mean, we do that every night, and we're trying to be 1-0 tonight. We don't care about 8-0 in the previous 8 games.
How do you make sure that your team's mindset, though, stays the same and being number 1 in these polls don't become too much for them and fill their head with that mindset?
Like I said from day one, man, we have a March mindset. That's the next step we have to take. We've been really good in the regular season the last 2 years. And then, just things have happened to where we've kind of, fizzled off a little bit. And we just do the same thing, prepare the same. Every day is the same. Like, we had an hour of practice before the game. We do that every day, every game day. So we change nothing. We work harder, if nothing else. And I think it's good to be playing 2 or 3 games a week because it doesn't allow you to sleep on anyone. You have to prepare the same way and just come out and execute.
All right, Coach, anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Best of luck. Now joined by the head coach of the Washington Patriots, Ryan Miller. Coach Miller, your team goes 1-1 last week. Just talk a little bit about what you liked from your team, what you didn't like.
I thought our defensive effort could have been a lot better, and that's something that we've been working on. It's a work in progress, and I'm trying to install new principles and new ideas and things like that. So it's not going to happen overnight, and I realize that. But the effort part of it has to be better for us. And when our effort's up, normally we play pretty well. So that was the part that was kind of up and down for me, and it's probably why we went 1-1, or at least games were more lopsided than they should have been. So the effort's got to be there tonight if we want to be better.
What are some of the things that you're doing to try to instill that effort and your new ways into this team, but also realizing that it is that one step at a time process?
Yeah, so I think making practices competitive every single day, and I know that goes against, like, typically once the season starts, you kind of wind down a little bit before games because you're installing and walking through stuff. But for us, still trying to figure things out and get things in, and the way we want to do things and keep the effort up. We've made things really competitive this week, and it's brought out the best in our guys. They've responded really well.
EPAC play again tonight. You guys already had one game in EPAC play. It's Spring Mills tonight, one of the best teams in the conference. The conference has 5 top 10 teams out of the state in it as well. Just talk about, I guess we'll start with that first, how tough the conference really is this year and how you can get your team to that level.
Right. So first off, I'm just glad the EPAC's starting to get some respect around the state. This is one of the best conferences year in and year out, and I don't think that people in the southern part of the state always get to see that. So in a way, I'm thankful that Spring Mills has gone and played some of those teams, and Musselman's played a couple, and people like that. So I'm glad people are finally starting to realize it. And if we want to get to that level, it starts every single night. We have to do things the right way and compete. Things aren't going to go perfect. Teams are going to be better than us, especially in the state that we are right now. But if we build, we can absolutely be right there with all those other teams if we do the little things, and that's what matters.
Now let's get into tonight's matchup against the best of the best so far in the state as of right now, at being Spring Mills. What have you seen from them so far in the film that you've gotten to watch?
Yeah, so first off, they're a great team. Super athletic, got great size, can really shoot it, especially a couple of those kids. So we know it's going to be a tough test, and like I said, the little things are going to matter. Can we limit them to one shot? Because with their size, they get a lot of second chance points. They like to go up and down. Can we get back on defense? And I know that all those things sound super cliche, and every coach says them, box out, get back. But that's what we got to do to stay in the game. And if we don't do those things, it's going to be lopsided. If we do, I think we'll be right there.
On your end, what are some things that you're really hoping to execute here tonight as well?
So we got to be more efficient on offense, and that starts with taking good shots. When you rush shots, you let other teams get in transition, which has hurt us. Also, when we shoot, George Welty's huge for us. He should crash the offensive glass. Everybody else should probably get back. We're not the biggest team in the world. We're not bigger than Spring Mills. So get back and try to make them play in the half court. Just little things like that. Taking care of the ball. We've gotten back to basics the last couple weeks. So I think that's a good start. If we can do those little things, I think we'll be okay.
On their side, too, as well, one of the best players in the state, that being Caleb Thomas. What do you feel like that your team needs to do to kind of limit him tonight and make sure that he's not as big as a factor as he can be?
So when there's a player that good, you're never going to stop them, right? You just have to make them work. And so tonight, that's what we got to do. We have to stay disciplined. We scout for a reason. We got to follow that scouting report. Make him do things that make him uncomfortable. And it's hard. He's a really good player. It's not going to happen every single time down the floor. But can we make him do tough things more than he gets easy buckets? I think that would be a key for us tonight.
What are you most excited for in tonight's matchup?
I mean, you get to play number one team in the state, man. If you don't embrace that, then you shouldn't be here. And I kind of told our guys that today. There's no expectations for us. We came out against Hedgesville, and DJ was out, but we got blown out. So now nobody really expects anything. You can either embrace that role, or you can kind of go into the game thinking you already lost. So we're going to see how much we fight tonight, and I'm excited to see it.
All right, best of luck, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
That was our coaches' interviews brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's, fast, fresh, friendly. We'll step aside, take another 2-minute break here on the Parsons Ford Countdown to Tip-Off. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
The W.B. Rockefeller Neuroscience Institute Martinsburg clinics will be moving to a new location beginning January 9th. Our RNI team is moving to a larger custom-designed suite on the 3rd floor of the Spring Mills Medical Office Building at 61 Campus Drive. Teams that will be moving include physical medicine and rehabilitation, neurosurgery, and neurology. We look forward to welcoming new patients at our new location on January 9th. For more info, call 304-596-5038.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is Prevent, Promote, Protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Welcome back to Washington High School for EPAC Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 as the top-ranked, undefeated Spring Mills Cardinals come to Charlestown tonight to take on the 5-3 Washington Patriots. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Aiden Sensabaugh, our cameraman. Back in the studio is Nick Verzolini. About 4 minutes left here in pregame warm-up, so we'll continue our Parsons Ford countdown to tip-off and get into tonight's keys to the game, as the key to your next car is at the Dunch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. Dylan, take it away.
For Spring Mills, I think the key for them is to stay disciplined and stay focused. I know they talk about this as being sort of a game that they should win. The team in the EPAC that you probably see yourself most likely to beat, the only one not in the top 10 in the state, but you can't let that get into your head. Anything can happen in the EPAC. Washington's still a talented team, so they need to be mindful of that. On Washington's side, I think the ball movement needs to be better. When we saw them in the Skip Fowler, I thought that they ran a lot of pick and roll, which I thought was useful for the useful kind of offense for them to run. But the guards never really looked to make that pass off of the roll. And I think that Chet Gore is a guy that on the short roll can even be a guy that can take a dribble or two inside and look to make a pass potentially. So I think that if they can keep the ball movement going and not try to have to go one-on-one against these long, lanky, big and athletic defenders for Spring Mills, they can hopefully get some more offense going than we saw from them in the Skip Fowler.
That was tonight's Keys to the Game, brought to you by the Dutch Miller Auto Group. Let's take a look at the series history between these two schools, the two newer schools out of the Eastern Panhandle. 9-8 is the all-time series between these two, as Washington leads the all-time series by that one game, so this being the now 18th meeting between the two. However, the past 4 meetings have went Spring Mills' way, as tonight the number 1 Cardinals try to make it 5 in a row. Let's now get tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors. John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg, or call them at 304-263-4343. We'll start off with the number 1 ranked Spring Mills Cardinals coming into tonight's matchup. 8-0 overall, 1-0 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, coached by Luke Sample. Starting for the Cardinals, number 2, a 5'9" guard, Akwesi Opoku Achampong. 6'7" guard, number 3, Caleb Thomas. 6'7" forward, number 10, Xavier Anderson. 6'4" guard, number 11, Lakayu Smith. And rounding out the starting 5 is a 6'2" guard, number 15, Max Anderson. For the home side, the Washington Patriots, 5-3 overall, 0-1 in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, coached by Ryan Miller. Starting 5 for the Patriots, sophomore guard number 1, Chris Dolman. 6'3" junior guard number 5, DJ Boardley. 6'5" sophomore forward number 11, Chet Gore. A 6'2" junior forward number 15, Sean McCarthy, and a 6'7" junior center number 52, George Welty. Will now step aside, take a 2-minute break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done, because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Welcome back to Washington High School here in Charlestown, West Virginia. National Anthem's concluded. The public address announcer calling out starting 5 now for both teams, starting with Spring Mills. Quickly give you the starting 5 again for Spring Mills. Number 2, Opoku Achampong. Number 3, in Thomas. Number 10, in Xavier Anderson. Number 11, Uth Smith. And number 15, Max Anderson for Washington. Starting 5s, Dolman, Boardley, Gore, McCarthy. McCarthy and Welty. It is Spring Mills in the road blue uniforms with white stripes and red stripes down the side, white numbers on the front and back, white letters on the front as well, outlined in red. Washington in the all-white home uniforms with blue numerals and letters on the front, outlined in red and blue stripe down the side. And we wait now for Washington's starting five to come out through the cheerleaders on the right side of the court, and also wait for the music to start. The lights that very slowly go out here at Washington High School as well, and the spotlight to come on as most teams now here in the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference kind of starting out with some hype music and light show as well, Dylan.
Yeah, they like to get the entertainment going. I think all the rest of the EPAC has sort of caught on to the trend that was started. Wherever it was started. I don't know if it was Musselman or Hedgesville or a lot of the other schools have started to follow suit. So it's a fun little thing. If you got the means to do it, well, why not? Put on a little bit of a show.
And the Patriots now take the court here as the bench comes out first, and we wait for the starting five to come out too once we get opening tip-off set. Opening tip-off will be brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. Spring Mills now comes back out onto the team bench for them to the left side, as well as they went over into the locker room here at the start of the warm-ups, but make their way back as we wait for the rest of the starters to be called out for the Washington Patriots. A little bit of interesting, different pregame handshakes and whatnot just to get the team fired up, and it's a tough task tonight for Washington. They're 5-3 overall, already 0-1 in the conference, and now they get to take on top-ranked team in the state of West Virginia, the Spring Mills Cardinals. Both teams
right, they had
ready to go.
Yeah, they had that loss to Hedgesville, but there's no DJ Bordley in that one. So we'll see how things turn out tonight. It's a tough task for them here at home. Number one team in the state for a reason is Spring Mills.
Since you mentioned DJ Bordley, we know a lot on his mind for this matchup tonight. It's the first time getting to go up against his former teammates at Spring Mills as he's transferred over from Spring Mills to Washington for this school year. Washington one last time huddles up over at its bench before coming out with the starting five, as Spring Mills already out on the floor in position ready to go for the jump ball. Jumping for Spring Mills will be Caleb Thomas, and it looks like George Welty will do the honor for Washington. The ball is given to the official at midcourt. Checks that it is up to standard for tonight's game. And our Skinner Accident Injury Lawyers opening tip-off will commence. Ball's in the air, and it's won by Thomas for Spring Mills and given to Max Anderson. Anderson at midcourt picks it up and passes to the left side to Thomas. Thomas tries to post up, spins into the paint, puts up a layup, and that's up and good as Caleb Thomas quickly makes it 2-0 Spring Mills leading Washington.
You see right away they're going to see if they can attack that matchup. Caleb Thomas against George Welty, same height, but the much quicker Thomas.
Dolman with it now off the pass from Gore. I'll give it back to Gore at the top of the key. Now pass over to the left for Bordley. Bordley now guarded against Anderson. Anderson forces him to pass over to Sean McCarthy, who'll give it back to Dolman. Dolman drives in, kicks it out into the left corner. Three-pointer up by McCarthy. No good, rebounded by Poku Achampong for Spring Mills, and he'll go up the floor now for the Cardinals. Slow things down for the offense. 1 minute into this first quarter, it's Spring Mills 2, Washington nothing. Poku Achampong passes it over to Anderson. Swings it over to his brother, Max Anderson, in the right corner. He'll drive in, kick it back out to Xavier. Xavier looks over to Thomas. Thomas drives in, kicks it out to Max Anderson. Right corner, 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Dolman for Washington. It's Dolman now passing it to Gore. Gore drives to the left side, puts up a layup. That banks in, and we're tied at 2-2 now.
Chet Gore might have to be the guy tonight for Washington. The one guy in this lineup that I think has the length and the athleticism both to match up with this team.
Poku Champong off the pick. Will pass it over to Xavier Anderson. He'll hand it to Oot Smith. Oot Smith loses it, but now starts his dribble. Gets a pick from Anderson. Drives in on the left side. Kicks it out to Thomas. Thomas thought about the 3. Passed it over to Akwesi, who now gives it over to Max Anderson in the right corner. He'll drive into the paint, kick it out, find a wide open Poku Champong. Left corner, 3 goes around the rim and in. It's now a 5-3 Spring Mills lead here over Washington 2 minutes into the first quarter. Gore goes down low to Welty now. Welty posting up on the left side. Tried to kick it out. The pass is stolen by Poku Champong. He looks behind him and waits for the rest of his team to join him on the offensive side of the basketball court. And now pull up for 3 from the left wing, and that one is good. He now has back-to-back threes, making it an 8-2 Spring Mills lead.
It's going to be so difficult for Washington if Spring Mills is knocking down threes like that on the other end.
Gore hands it to Boardley. Boardley now gets the screen, dribbles to the left, puts up an awkward shot, but somehow gets it to go. DJ Boardley now makes it 8-4.
I didn't like that shot. That's not going to go in more often than not, but he made that one.
And now an offensive foul called, a moving screen against Caleb Thomas as he tried to set the pick for Poku Champong. That is Thomas's first team first here. 5-18, quarter number 1 at Spring Mills, 8, Washington 4.
The athleticism, the quickness, and the length, the size of Spring Mills, they can switch so many screens. It makes it tough to play offense against them.
Gore passing it over to the top of the key for Sean McCarthy. He loses it. It's stolen now by Oot Smith. Oot Smith goes to the right wing, pulls up for 3. Misses off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded down low by Max Anderson, and he'll put it back up and in for the Cardinals. It's now 10-4.
Max is strong. He's not the tallest guy down there. Not the tallest guy on the court, but he can get boards.
Boardley for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Oot Smith. He'll go coast to coast. 1v1 against Dolman. Right side layup up and good by Oot Smith, making it 12-4 Spring Mills now. 3.5 into this first quarter, they lead Washington by 8.
That was smooth.
Dolman turnaround jumper, airballed, rebounded by Oot Smith. Spring Mills on a run now. Right corner, it's caught by Poku Champong. He'll dribble out to the top of the key and run the offense for the Cardinals. Started by Gore, looking to his left, he finds Thomas in the corner. Thomas dribbles his way to the wing. Tried to post up. Turnaround jumper by him. No good. Rebounded by Xavier Anderson. He'll go to a Poku Champong. Spring Mills now has it at the right side. Quasi goes into the corner. Gets a pick. Dribbles to the wing. Drives in. Tried to pass it, but it goes over the head of Thomas. And out of bounds. Washington gets the ball now with 3:49 left here in quarter number 1.
It was a good idea by Quasi there to try to make that pass. He just couldn't quite do it. The shortest guy on the court. Couldn't get over the size of Gore.
Spring Mills 12, Washington 4. Washington with the ball. It's Dolman passing to Boardley. Boardley drives in on the left side, goes up for a layup, but is fouled. Looks like that is Jones picking up his first foul. Team second for Spring Mills. Your first quarter brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation. Robert Fields & Sons, family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg and one in Charlestown, Ranson. Proudly serving our area since 1880, as well as CMA's Honda of Winchester at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving lives forward. Inbound for Washington, it's Boardley with the basketball. Dribbles once, passes over to Dolman at the right wing. He'll go down low for Gore. Gore kicks it back out to Dolman. Dolman guarded by Poku Champong, and now the pass is stolen. Jones guarding Thomas, and Thomas's layup goes off the bottom of the backboard. Now Washington tries to go quickly. It's Gore getting fouled on the breakaway transition. And that's the third team foul against Spring Mills here of the quarter.
It's almost like Caleb Thomas was too athletic or too big for that layup to happen. He'd made that spin move a little too close to the rim for how much ground he can cover with the steps he takes.
Foul away from the basketball, and it looks like it's against Washington, and it might be Boardley giving a little bit of a nudge to Xavier Anderson. That is the team first for Washington as they have the inbound but now lose it, and it will be Spring Mills to inbound with 3:09 left here in the first quarter, up 12-4. Thomas at the right elbow, picks up his dribble, passes over to the left side for Jones. Jones looks behind him. It goes to U. Smith. U. Smith drives in, puts up the left side layup. That's good. It's a 10-point lead now for Spring Mills.
I've been really impressed by Aloke U. Smith tonight.
Dolman goes coast to coast, puts up a floater. That one is good, making it 14-6. Poku Achampong passing it to Thomas. Thomas dribbles to the left, gives it over to Jones. Jones jumper no good, rebounded by Dolman for Washington. Look down the court, giving it to Gore. Gore on the right side, has it rejected from behind by Caleb Thomas. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Washington ball.
That's part of the difference with Spring Mills is Caleb Thomas there in the middle. You think that you have a layup there, and Chet Gore often would against most teams in that situation, but Caleb Thomas, the 11, just gets in there from behind.
Dolman inbounds to Gore, and Gore goes into the paint, makes the basket, and gets the foul, making it 14-8. Now an opportunity for Chet Gore for a three-point play.
That sort of off-ball movement is what they're going to have to do to get points up against this Cardinals defense.
It's Jones' second foul for Spring Mills, team fourth of the quarter. It's 14-8. Spring Mills leading Washington. 2:23 left here in the quarter, make it 14. The scorer drains the free throw. He has 5 of the 9 points for Washington. Poku Achampong goes to Thomas. Thomas passes to Max Anderson, who just checked in. He drives into the paint, puts up a shot, no good, gets his own rebound. His second attempt up and good, and Max Anderson gets fouled on that attempt. He now has 4 points, and has his three-point opportunity now.
Max Anderson plays like someone who's about 3 or 4 inches taller than he actually is. He's only at 6'2", as opposed to, his brother's 6'7", Caleb Thomas 6'7", so he's wealthy, but he's so strong inside that he can bully guys around and get what he wants.
Sean McCarthy drives the right baseline, puts up a contested shot, misses everything. It's rebounded by U. Smith. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter at Spring Mill, 16, Washington 9. Thomas goes behind to Max. Max passes over to the left for Poku Achampong, who goes to Thomas. Thomas pulls up for 3 at the top of the key and drains it. It's the third 3 of the quarter for Spring Mills, who now is back up by 10 at 19-9.
Thomas really is a game changer on both ends of the floor.
Boardley for 3, and he answers the 3 with a 3 of his own, making it 19-12. Spring Mills.
They might have to make a few of those to stay in this one tonight.
Thomas driving in, gets double teamed. Looking at the opposite end, finds Max Anderson instead at the top of the key. He'll go to the elbow, posting up in the paint. Knocks a man down, no call, and then he makes the basket right afterwards. He has 6 points now. It's a 21-12 lead. Spring Mills on top of Washington. 1 minute left here in the first.
I think that was a clean play, yeah. Good bucket for Max.
Dolman picks up his dribble, passes it right next to him to Gore, gives it back. He'll go to the left elbow, back behind him to Gore. Gore hands it to Boardley. Boardley gets the pick from Gore on the right side, tried to drive in. Now takes it back towards the volleyball line. He'll post up, drive in, put up a layup, and that's beautifully done by Boardley. He now has 7 points, making it 21-14. Somehow drove the lane and weaved through the Cardinals.
Boardley and Gore, those are the two that can match up with this team. And so far, they are the big contributors keeping them in this.
Xavier Anderson passing it to Caleb Thomas. 20 seconds left in the first. Thomas, it's double team, passes to Max Anderson. He'll drive in on the left side, go back to Thomas. Thomas goes up for the dunk on the baseline, and it's good. There you go, the first of the night of Spring Mills with the slams, making it 23-14, 5 seconds left. Dolman drives in, puts up the shot, and it's good at the buzzer. End of the first. 16. Spring Mills up by 7 against Washington. We'll step aside and take a 1-minute break. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
I do.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
Can't believe you didn't fill up.
That's double my rent. Not my car.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
You had one job.
It's between girls.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
Welcome back to Washington High School EPAC boys basketball action. Quarter number 2 getting started at leading Washington by a score of 23-16 as Dolman at the buzzer makes that 2-pointer to cut the Spring Mills lead back to 7, and it will be Washington getting the ball as well to start off quarter number 2.
I think it took some really tough shot making from Washington in that first quarter for this to even be a 7-point game. I don't know if that's sustainable.
Josh McCarthy with it for Washington. He'll pass it to his brother Sean. Gives it over to Dolman at the left wing. Dolman looks to the right for Josh McCarthy. He catches it, drives in, goes up for a layup, and again it's Thomas waiting for him and rejecting it out of bounds.
He's just so athletic, so big. 6'7", the long arms, and he can time it well on defense to be an incredible presence in protecting the rim.
Dolman for Washington with the basketball. Dribbles over to the right, gets double teamed, now picks it up. Bounce passes it at the left elbow. It's caught by Josh McCarthy, who will dribble it out, give it over to Bordley. Bordley pump fakes. His pass got deflected, but it still finds a McCarthy. McCarthy goes to Dolman. He drives in the right baseline, puts up a shot. It's no good, but he's fouled here with 7:17 left in the second quarter. Dolman goes to the free throw line for the first time tonight to shoot 2. Foul caught against Caleb Thomas, his second team first of the quarter for Spring Mills.
He tried to get up there and block that one and just kind of came down on Dolman in the process.
Dolman's first free throw up and good, so he has 5 points, making it a 23-17 ball game. Spring Mill still in the lead. Dolman makes it 18 points now for Washington as he makes the second of the 2 free throws. Machado checks in now for Washington, donning number 3 tonight instead of number 0. Spring Mills with the ball. It's Thomas to Opoku Achampong. He'll bounce pass it down low to Anderson. Anderson trying to post up. Somehow tucks underneath the arms of McCarthy. And now it's Washington pushing the floor. Bordley all alone. Left side layup is good. And it's a one-possession game now. 23-20. So Washington starts off with a 4-0 run here in the second quarter.
They can lock down on defense and turn it into offense. Washington can get something going here. It's only a 3-point game.
Thomas to quiet the crowd. Top of the arc 3 is good. And he enters 10 points now at the 26 for Spring Mills. McCarthy passing to Machado. Machado out into the left corner. 3 is up off the back of the rim and no good by Josh McCarthy. Rebounded by Spring Mills. It's Thomas going behind him to Opoku Achampong. They'll call out the play for the Cardinals. Pass to Max Anderson. Goes over to U. Smith. U. Smith, right wing 3 is drained. Wow. That is the 5th 3-pointer tonight for Spring Mills, who makes it a 9-point game at 29-20.
That previous possession, the 3 by Caleb Thomas, that's where Spring Mills can be a matchup problem for you. You're not going to have Welty come out to the perimeter as there's a steal by Spring Mills the other way. Caleb Thomas can be out there at the three-point line. Welty's not going to follow him because you don't have any rim protection after
Caleb
that.
Thomas tries to go coast to coast. His layup's no good. Rebounded by Xavier Anderson. His putback also misses, and now it's Washington going down the floor with the ball. Left corner three by Machado, no good. Tipped around, rebounded by Caleb Thomas. Thomas slowly brings it up for Spring Mills, passing it to Max Anderson. Contested shot down low, no good. Tipped around, and somehow recovered by Xavier, who finds Thomas, and Thomas with another dunk. 31-20 now. Spring Mills leads Washington, and Luke Samples of the Cardinals will call his first timeout. 5:11 left here in quarter number 2. We'll take the 30-second break with them. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
1-20 lead for the number 1 ranked team in the state of West Virginia, that being the Spring Mills Cardinals here against the Washington Patriots. For Spring Mills after that 30-second timeout called by Luke Samples. It is Washington basketball. 5:11 left here in the second quarter. So they inbounded at the baseline on our right side. Dolman receives the inbound from Gore. He'll dribble it up the court now. On the right side is Dolman. He gets the pick from Gore. Goes to the top of the key. Trying to pass it to Gore, and it's stolen by Thomas. They go 1v1 back the other way. Thomas loses his dribble. Picks it up, looks behind him for Max Anderson, who's trailing from behind. Passes over to Ooh Smith. Left wing three, no good. Rebounded by Apoku Achampong. They go back to Ooh Smith the second time, and that one's good. He now has 2 threes, 7 in total tonight for Spring Mills. It's a 34-20 Cardinal lead against the Patriots.
If Ooh Smith is going to score like this, I don't know how anyone beats Spring Mills.
And a three on the opposite end by Sean McCarthy for Washington, making it 34-23. Also, my apologies, that was only the 6th three, not the 7th for Spring Mills. Thomas passing over to Apoku Achampong. He'll pass it to Max Anderson now at the top of the key. He goes in on the left side, trying to put up a layup. It's no good because he was fouled, so he never really got it off, but they still say it was a shooting foul. 4:12 left here in quarter number 2. Max Anderson goes to the free throw line to shoot 2 as that foul against Dolman of Washington. Second quarter brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way, Martinsburg, or online at Orsinis.com as Anderson makes the first of the 2 free throws. Our other second quarter sponsor is Craig Blair for State Senate, the Eastern Panhandle's first and only Senate President and Lieutenant Governor. Let's re-elect Craig Blair 2024. Second free throw up and good by Anderson. He now has 8 points, making it 36-23. Spring Mills leading Washington with 4 minutes left here in the second. Dolman to Gore, right corner three by Gore, overpowered. Rebounded by Ooh Smith.
Xavier Anderson really affected that shot.
Now a whistle blows, and it looks like
Carry.
Ooh Smith gets called with the carry, so a turnover gives it to Washington.
I've been pretty impressed with how Washington has kept up. Obviously, the score, is starting to get away from them a little bit, but it's been tough shot making from Spring Mills, and I don't know why Max Anderson felt the need to do that. It was clearly just a push against Bordley. Easy foul call for the ref.
Yep, Max Anderson picks up his first foul, team second of the quarter.
If you notice any sort of screens that Washington runs here, you get a lot of switching on these screens. And it's because of the athleticism, the versatility of the Spring Mills lineup. They got 4 guys out there that can guard any position 1 through 5 pretty much.
Dolman to Machado. Machado dribbling with it at the right wing behind the arc, driving in. Has a long pass out to Dolman. He'll drive in on the left side, put up a layup. It's no good off the back of the rim, rebounded by Thomas. Thomas going coast to coast, looking for a wide open Max Anderson, who's cutting on the right side. He'll give it to Anderson, and Anderson puts up an easy layup, making it 38-23 now, Spring Mills.
Max hustles back on offense the other way. His man has got to follow him.
Sean McCarthy handing it to Machado, back to McCarthy for three from the left side. That's off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Opoku Achampong. I'll pass it to Xavier Anderson. He pump fakes and gets called with the travel violation before driving the lane. So another turnover for Spring Mills, gives it to Washington. As Washington trails by 15 here with 3 minutes left in the second quarter against Spring Mills. Spring Mills already has 3 people with 10-plus points. Is now falling down was McCarthy, and it goes to Uth Smith. 2v1 back the other way goes Uth Smith and Opoku Achampong, and it's Uth Smith getting the layup on the right side, making it 40-23.
I wouldn't doubt if Loke Uth Smith would be the best player on any other team in the EPAC. It's insane that Spring Mills has him.
Dolman, the right side with the basketball, picks up his dribble, passes it to McCarthy. McCarthy hands it over to Machado, gets the pick now from McCarthy, puts up a three off the side of the backboard, no good, rebounded by Caleb Thomas. Thomas goes to Anderson, who drove the left side, and his layup is good. Max now has 12 points, and he'll go to the free throw line as he was fouled on the layup. It's a 42-23 lead now for Spring Mills here against Washington, as it's Thomas, Uth Smith, and Max Anderson with 12 points each. The other 6 from Opoku Achampong here for Spring Mills.
It's such an underrated quality to know how to run the floor correctly and to hustle back to be able to do it well. Having teammates to find you is important too. But Max Anderson, he's the Spring Mills quarterback for a reason. He's a very smart heads-up player.
Max misses the free throw. It's rebounded by Washington. Dolman with the basketball for the Patriots, passing it to Boardley. Boardley, the top of the key, goes to the left at the elbow, puts up an awkward shot again. That one no good, tipped around, rebounded by Max Anderson, who looks down the court for Uth Smith. Uth Smith, layup, no good off the front of the rim, rebounded by Max. He'll kick it out to Uth Smith, who's now in the left corner, and his three rattles around the rim and in. Uth Smith has 15 points, 3 of them from beyond the arc. It's a 45-23 Spring Mills lead over Washington. 1:48 left here in the second. And a timeout called by Ryan Miller of the Patriots, who find themselves now magically down 22.
Man, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I don't either.
What are you supposed to do against this team? I don't know. Xavier Anderson, 6'7", is getting boards like crazy. Washington only has one 6'7" guy, and it's George Welty, and his athletic profile is just so much different than Caleb Thomas and Xavier Anderson. Bring in his brother Max Anderson into the mix. The quarterback of the team. He clearly has a high basketball IQ as well, and he kind of plays basketball like a wide receiver. He knows how to find the open holes in the defense. And throw in Uth Smith, who again I think potentially would be the best player on any other team in the Panhandle with his scoring ability. It's just the length, athleticism, the smoothness. And, oh, by the way, none of those guys are the best player on the team or the best player in the state like Caleb Thomas is.
Washington started the quarter with a 4-0 run. Since then, it's been a 22-3 run for Spring Mills, who now leads by 22. But instead, almost with the dunk, it was Welty, but he lost the ball. Whistle blows with 1:33 left here in the second. Now, it looks like we might have a player control foul called against Boardley, who's the one that passed it to Welty, who tried to go up for the dunk. And then Boardley collided with a Cardinal, and that is his second foul, it should be. At least that's what I have it, but the scoreboard has it as his first. Spring Mills with it. Opoku Achampong passing it over to Thomas. Thomas gives it to Xavier Anderson. Go back to Opoku Achampong to Max Anderson. The wing, he'll give it to Uth Smith. Uth Smith trying to stay hot. He pulls up for 3. It's no good. Rebounded by Washington. Now a foul immediately by Spring Mills, 90 feet away from the opposite basket. And that is the team's third of the quarter and the second against Max Anderson.
They've barely gone into the bench. You've only seen a little bit of Tyler Jones. That's really it.
He's out there on the floor now for Spring Mills.
Yep, just came in for Max since he has 2 fouls in the first half here.
It's Dolman Passing to Boardley for three from the right side, and that one's good by Boardley. His second three of the night as DJ has 12 points now.
It's another tough shot from him that he made. Like I said, Washington is a talented team. They're just running into a buzzsaw.
45-26, Spring Mills leads. It's U. Smith to Opoku Achampong at the right side. Back to U. Smith, right corner, three, and that one around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Josh McCarthy. 40 seconds left here in the second quarter. Dolman back over to Josh. Josh behind his back, passes it over to Sean McCarthy, back to Josh McCarthy. McCarthy at the right wing, passes to the left side for Dolman. Dolman looking down low, instead passes it to the top of the key for McCarthy. He'll go to Boardley. Boardley lost his dribble. It was almost stolen by U. Smith. He's able to gain it back up and now pass over to the right side for McCarthy. That being Josh, he'll go down low to Sean. Sean goes to Welty, who's rejected from behind, but gets it back and puts it up in the paint, making it 45-28. 10 seconds left. So that's Welty's first 2 points of the half. Caleb Thomas with it for Spring Mills. 5 seconds left. He's at the top of the key, driving in. Spin around, puts up a shot. It's rejected by Welty, going out of bounds. 0.6 seconds left. It'll be Washington with the ball here for the final few ticks.
I think Caleb was doing a little too much with the ball there. He didn't have the angle. He tried to go with it anyway.
Boardley, it's good if it went in, but it's not. So at the end of the first half, Spring Mills leads by a score of 45-28 over Washington. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break, and be back for our halftime show. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer deaths in the United States each year. But do you know the radon levels in your home? Home is a place to live, love, and laugh, not a place to breathe air containing radon. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments are distributing free confidential radon test kits, and you can get yours at the Berkeley County Health Department office in Martinsburg and the Morgan County Health Department office in Berkeley Springs. Protect your home and family. Get your free radon test kit today.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Welcome back here to Washington High School at halftime. Spring Mills leads Washington 45-28. Halftime brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Aiden Sensible is our cameraman back in the studios. Nick Verzolini, who you'll hear from in a few minutes. But first, Dylan, first half thoughts.
Spring Mills is insane. Yeah, they're really, really good. That starting 5. I ran it down towards there at the end of the second quarter about the sort of the top 4 players on this team. I didn't even mention Akwesi Opoku-Achampong, who had multiple 3-pointers in that first half. Those other 4 guys in the starting lineup, Thomas, the Anderson brothers, and Ut Smith, they're switchable on defense with the length and the athleticism, the quickness. And then they're just so good on the other end also on offense. Caleb Thomas protecting the rim. Ut Smith on the perimeter. Max Anderson everywhere getting rebounds on both ends of the floor. Xavier Anderson doing the same. It's an incredibly hard team to match up with. I don't know how you do it unless you have equal talent. How do you scheme around this talent that they have? It's really difficult. I don't think that Washington quite has the firepower for it. They have talented players. This game wouldn't be as close if they weren't making tough shots like C.J. Bordley was, especially, or DJ Bordley. But, man, like I said, they ran into a buzzsaw tonight.
Let's get our first half stats brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court. Martinsburg starting off with Washington. It's Bordley with 12 points, Dolman with 6 points, Gore with 5, Sean McCarthy with 3, and Welty with 2. For Spring Mills, the leading scorer is U. Smith with 15. Thomas and Max Anderson have 12 points each. And Apoko Achampong has 6 points. We'll step aside, take a 2-minute break again here on the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. On the other side of that 2-minute break, Nick Verzolini will give you a score from Jefferson Musselman as well as WVU men's basketball as they take on Kansas State right now. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you into the halftime scoreboard update. Apologize for that quick little moment of a lot of noise that you didn't want to hear. I'm Nick Verzolini here on the N1 Scoreboard Show. As Colin mentioned, we do have other high school boys basketball action going on tonight, and Jefferson leads Musselman in the first quarter 10-8, low-scoring game in that contest. Our score here at the half between Washington and Spring Mills. The Spring Mills Cardinals, the number one team in the state of West Virginia, leads the Washington Patriots 45-28. Other games going on in college basketball tonight. Of course, WVU is in action. The Mountaineers returning home after a tough loss to Houston on Saturday. WVU trails at the half now leading at halftime 42-40. So Mountaineers trying to get the win over Kansas State. Some other Big 12 action. Houston trails Iowa State 14-0. Houston trails Iowa State 31-21 at the half. Texas leads Cincinnati 41-39 at the half. Oklahoma State leads Texas Tech 2-0. And BYU will take on Baylor tonight in what is, again, another great year for the Big 12. Other top 25 action, Kentucky leads former Pac-12 school, Missouri, 47-42. And other games tonight, number 1 Purdue will take on Nebraska. We'll take another 2-minute break. And on the other side of that break, you'll hear from Colin McLaughlin and Dylan Bishop for the second half.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Look and feel your best this year. WVU Medicine Plastic, Cosmetic, and Reconstructive Surgery Martinsburg offers a variety of procedures to enhance your appearance. Board certified by the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, Dr. Jack Gelman specializes in tummy tucks, breast augmentation and lips, liposuction, body contouring, arm and thigh lifts, Botox, and filler injections. WVU Medicine Plastic, Cosmetic, and Reconstructive Surgery. Financing options are available. Call 304-350-3274.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
Welcome back here to Washington High School, underway for quarter number 3. Spring Mills with the ball. It's Apoku Achampong pump faking at the top of the key, dribbling it now. Slowing things down for Spring Mills, who leads 45-28 over Washington. He'll now drive the lane and put up a left-handed layup, and that one's good by Apoku Achampong, and it is a 47-28 lead for Spring Mills, the number 1 team in the state. Laura with it for Washington. Dribbling at the left side, underhand tossing it over to Sean McCarthy in the corner, and his pass is intercepted. Down the floor goes Ooh Smith, and Ooh Smith went up, tried to go for the dunk, instead went the layup. He was pushed, no call. Yeah. Washington now back the other way. It's Gore losing it off his foot, and again Ooh Smith with the breakaway, and here comes the dunk, and he missed it.
Oh.
I jinxed it. Dolman. The Gore, another steal, this time it's Xavier Anderson's. And he's going to go 1v3. No, he's going to slow it down for Spring Mills. I was ready for the dunk, so was he. And Coach Sample is very frustrated still about the push from earlier that wasn't called.
As he should be.
Max Anderson with it for Spring Mills here in quarter number 3. Goes to Apoku Achampong. He'll go to Thomas. Thomas spin around, drives into the paint. Puts up a right-handed shot, no good. Gets the rebound and now goes up, gets fouled from behind and makes it. Thomas now has 14 points, trying to make it 15 from the charity stripe. Now 49-28.
Washington's got to do their best to keep their heads up in this, because if they let it slip up a little bit, Spring Mills isn't going to slow down. I mean, I guess they might slow down, but in the literal sense, but figuratively, I guess you could say, they are still so athletic and talented that even at 80 to 90% effort, they're going to put up points on the board.
Thomas free throw no good, but he gets his own rebound. Spring Mills now back with the ball. It's Thomas at the right wing. Dribbling to the top of the key, picking up his dribble, looking to Apoku Achampong, and he gets fouled, stopping the clock with 6:19 left here in the third quarter. And that is the second team foul here of the quarter for Washington. And it's called against Barry, who's in for the Patriots, his first. That last foul was called against Welty, who also has one foul now. It's Jones checking in for Ooh Smith for Spring Mills. can tell U. Smith is still frustrated for missing that dunk earlier. Max Anderson inbound. And it's deflected by his brother, now stolen by Barry for Washington. He goes down, his layup too hard off the glass, no good, rebounded by Anderson.
It was a good defense by Spring Mills getting back.
Opoku Achampong with it, passing to Caleb Thomas at the top of the arc. He'll go to Jones, over to Max Anderson at the right wing. Pass it behind him, long three by Opoku Achampong, no good, off the rim, rebounded by Gore for Washington. Gore goes to DJ Bordley, who's at midcourt, dribbling past the stripe, now drives to the right side, and it's rejected by the layup. It was Thomas with another block, but it's still Washington ball. Gore guarded very closely by Xavier Anderson, and a 5-second violation going to be called? No, they say Coach Miller got a timeout off before that could be called, stopping clock here, 5:35 left. In quarter number 3, we'll take a 30-second break. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done, because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
Welcome back to Washington High School. 5:35 left in quarter number 3. It is Spring Mills 49, Washington 28. 4-0 run for Spring Mills starting off quarter number 3, as they now lead by 21. Washington with the basketball after the second of the 5 timeouts called by the Patriots. Gore gets the inbound, puts up a 3, no good off the back of the rim, rebounded by Welty. Welty goes up against Thomas, and Thomas says, not today. This is his 4th block of the night. Jones goes to Opoku Achampong. Back to Jones. Jones to Thomas. Thomas thinking about the 3, instead passing it to the left side for Max Anderson, who goes into the corner for Kwesi down low to Thomas. Thomas wanted the backdoor cut to Opoku Achampong, instead now posts up. Kicks it out to the right corner for Jones. He'll go to Max Anderson for 3 off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Washington. Sean McCarthy getting the board. And he'll give it over to Barry. Barry, only a freshman. Passes to Gore. Goes to McCarthy. McCarthy dribbles. Gives it over to Gore at the right wing. He's trying to look down low for the battle between Welty and Thomas. Instead keeps it and will pass it to McCarthy. McCarthy at the left side, over back to Gore at the right. He looks down low, finally has Welty. Welty puts up a shot, it's too strong, no good, rebounded by Anderson. He'll now give it to Thomas. Thomas slowly down the floor. It's double team, gives it to Xavier Anderson. He puts up a shot in the paint, and that one's good. And a timeout will be called by Spring Mills as they now lead 51-28. Here in the third quarter. We'll keep it here, though, because that is Anderson's first 2 points of the night.
That's pretty surprising. He's been doing a great job on the glass and on defense. Just hasn't gotten any points out of it until now. I think Washington's doing a pretty good job of, guys moving around without the ball, getting the ball moved around, making good passes. It's just really the Spring Mills defense is too much for them to handle. They just don't really have the firepower. Anytime they're able to get it inside to Welty, Thomas is there, who's just as tall, more athletic, has more length, and times up his block attempts well. To even if he doesn't actually get the block, he puts up a great shot contest, and it affects the shot.
Washington inbounding it now to Barry after the timeout by Spring Mills. Barry dribbling it down the floor for the Patriots. He'll hand it to Bordley. Bordley drives in, puts up a floater off the back of the rim. It's no good. Rebounded by Spring Mills. Opoku Achampong down the court now for the Cardinals on the left side. Still dribbling, he picks it up, now passes to Bush. Bush goes over to Thomas. Thomas spins around with his dribble, goes down low, puts up a shot, and that's good by Caleb Thomas. Now has 16 points for Spring Mills as they lead 53-28 here in the third. Berry tries to go in, puts up a contested layup. It's no good. Rebounded by Poku Achampong. They'll go back down for Spring Mill, slowing it down, giving it to Thomas. Thomas crossing over, spinning around in the paint, kicking it out to Jones. Jones goes into the corner for Poku Achampong. He'll drive the baseline, puts up a shot. That's good. He now has 10 points, the fourth in double figures for Spring Mills. It's 55-28 now. They lead Washington. Cardinals right now showing why they're the number one team here in West Virginia. Almost up by 30. Boardley trying to get contact. No foul called. Spring Mills going back the other way. It's Jones with the layup, no good. Rebounded, and it's McCarthy. And now Boardley still down, trying to beg for the game to stop. And we'll stop with them for the injury timeout. 3:05 left here in the third. Your third quarter brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. Revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordAtHagerstown.com, as well as Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Spring Mills 55, Washington 28. 3:05 left here in the third. Step aside, take a 30-second break for the injured Washington Patriot, that being DJ Boardley. No, we'll keep it here. He's up quickly now, being helped up, so keep it here, Nick, back at the studio. Don't worry about the 30-second break, as he, under his own power, will hobble off the court.
Not sure if it's a cramp or if it's actually some sort of pulled muscle. He wasn't really getting stretched out.
But they'll wipe off the sweat that was left on the floor as he goes over to the trainer's table.
Definitely some sort of, limping off the court. Some sort of leg injury, but
that doesn't help when your leading scorer now is out and you haven't scored here in the third quarter so far if you're Washington. Dolman passing it over to McCarthy. McCarthy down low, shot up, no good by Josh McCarthy, rebounded by Spring Mills. It's Thomas going coast to coast, left side layup, off the side of the rim, no good, rebounded by Washington. Josh McCarthy now down the floor, loses his dribble, bounce pass behind him with Sean. They swing it around to Machado, left side driving in, passing it out to Sean McCarthy for three, and that is good. His second three of the day, making it 55-31, and there you go, the first 3 points of the quarter for Washington.
It's a really good pass on the kick out by Machado.
Now Thomas has it deflected out of bounds by McCarthy. Spring Mills keeps it. 2:18 left here in the third. Max Anderson will check back in for the Cardinals. In for Bush. Anderson to inbound to Caleb Thomas. Caleb Thomas now dribbling against McCarthy. Picks up his dribble, goes to Opoku Achampong. He'll now get the pick from Thomas. Driving in the right side, kicking it out to Caleb Thomas. He was wide open, but the pass had to have him move. He'll now drive in, try to post up, goes low, finds Max Anderson on the opposite side of the paint, and he gets called with a travel violation. So Washington now has the ball with 1:56 left here in the third.
Yeah, Spring Mills has kind of taken their foot off the gas pedal a little bit, but not enough to let Washington get back in it. Just getting a little sloppy on offense.
Machado to Sean McCarthy. He'll pass to Dolman. Dolman into Gore. Kick it out to McCarthy. Back to Dolman. Back to Machado. He pump fakes at the right wing now, guarded by Poku Achampong. They swing it back to the left side. Whistle blows. Looks like a foul away from the basketball with 1:33 left here in the third quarter. It's against Machado of Washington, his first, team third of the quarter. So Spring Mills has the ball. It's Max Anderson bringing it up the floor for Spring Mills as they lead 55-31 over Washington. He tries to go coast to coast, picks up his dribble, now loses it off his foot, and will just hand it to Caleb Thomas at the top of the key. Thomas goes down low to Anderson. That being Xavier Anderson. He posts up, puts up a shot off the glass and in. That is his fourth points of the night now. 57-31 is the score. Dolman tries to drive in and kick it out to Machado in the right corner. The pass is deflected out of bounds. It will remain Washington ball. 1:03 left here in quarter number 3. Dolman to inbound for Washington. Gets it just in time, gives it to Gore, back to Dolman. Dolman goes to Josh McCarthy. They swing it around to Machado in the left corner. Start his dribble now and pass it to Gore. Gore goes to McCarthy, and it's tipped by Thomas, stolen by Max Anderson. He'll go coast to coast. Left side layup no good, but he's fouled. Clock stops with 45.6 seconds left here in the third quarter. Max Anderson will go to the line for 2 free throws for Spring Mills.
I think sometimes players just don't really expect the reach of a guy like Caleb Thomas. And he's able to just get his hand around and poke that ball out.
First free throw, no good by Max Anderson. The score remains 57-31 now. Spring Mill still leading Washington. Looks like before the second free throw, we might have a pause here to get a towel brought out onto the floor, as it looks like there's a wet spot right at the top of the arc. That gets dried up. Making sure everything is good and clean.
I'll get you an update from Jefferson. It's currently Cougars leading Musselman 23-16 with 2:40 left in the second quarter.
Still the wet spot being attended to here at Washington. Looks like that has finally been dried up, and we'll wait for Max Anderson to get the ball for his second free throw.
Can't have guys slipping around out there.
Anderson gets the ball now, takes his time before putting up the shot, dribbles it a few times, spins it in his hand, the free throw up, and no good around the rim. So he misses both, rebounded by Gore. Washington, they'll go to Dolman. Dolman looks down the court, had a man open. It's Sean McCarthy, but the pass too far ahead of him, in and out of his hands, and out of bounds. Turnover, Spring Mills ball with 39.9 seconds left here in the third. Poku Achampong brings it up the court now for the Cardinals. Dribble it and hand it over to Crawford. Crawford puts up a three. It's no good. Rebounded by Dolman, but his foot was out of bounds. So Spring Mills gets the ball back with 28.5 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Crawford, that's not the kind of shot that's going to get you more minutes out on the floor. You can even see that he turned around to the bench, and one of the assistant coaches just kind of shook his head at him like, no, don't take that shot.
Off the inbound, it's Caleb Thomas, and his three-pointer short. And now Gore wide open down the side, and he gets fouled from behind as Caleb Thomas wanted the rejection. But instead, Gore goes to the free throw line to shoot 2. That would have been one to add to the highlight reel for either one of them. If it was either a dunk or a block.
Absolutely. Thomas, great athleticism to come and chase that play down. He just, when he went up for the block, hit the hand instead of the ball. Gore,
free throw, rattles around the rim and falls through. That's his second made free throw tonight, making it 57-32. Spring Mills in control here against Washington. Score's second free throw up, and that one's good as well. He has 7 points now, making it 57-33. Spring Mills basketball. 17 seconds left here in the third. Clock ticking down. It's Caleb Thomas with the ball. Giving it over to Anderson. Anderson pump fakes, drives in, Euro step. Layup wide open and good by Xavier Anderson, who has 6 points here in the third quarter. Dolman at the buzzer, blocked from behind by Caleb Thomas, and that's the end of quarter number 3. Spring Mills 59, Washington 33. Step aside, take a 1-minute break, and then be back for our fourth quarter. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School for quarter number 4 as the undefeated Spring Mills Cardinals, the best team in the state of West Virginia, on top of Washington right now by a score of 59-33. We resume action here for the fourth quarter, and it will be Washington basketball to start off. Good sign for Washington. DJ Bordley back into the game after the injury from earlier.
Hopefully he just needed to stretch a little bit. Maybe it was just a cramp. Either way.
It's Dolman with it. Going down low to Welty. Goes up against Thomas. Pivots around. We'll have to just kick it out back to Dolman. Dolman pulls up for 3. That one no good. Rebounded down low by Welty, and his putback is good.
Welty's had a tough time tonight with the matchup against Thomas, but he finally won one.
Thomas now posts up against him, kicks it out to Opoku Achampong. Will go over to Crawford. Crawford gives it back to Thomas at the right wing. We'll hand it to Opoku Achampong. He drives in, looks behind him, finds Thomas. Thomas went up for the one-handed dunk, but was too short with it. He regains control and just puts up a fadeaway while he's, to me, clearly pushed. No foul called. He looks to maybe be a little bit hurt as well, but that is Thomas's 18th points of the night. It's 61-35 Spring Mills. Gore for 3. No good. Deflected. And they'll say it's last off Welty of Washington. Spring Mills ball. Did you see a push there down low? Or was it just me?
I think maybe there was. Maybe some contact. Either way, Thomas, I think, is about to check out. Xavier Anderson coming in for... No, actually.
Nope, he gave the thumbs up over to Coach Samples to say that he's good. So
Crawford checks out instead.
Spring Mills basketball.
So starting 5 out for Spring Mills. 4 of the 5 starters for Washington.
Thomas to Opoku Achampong at the right wing. Go down low to Thomas. Gets double teamed, so they go back out to Opoku Achampong. He puts up a 3 from the top of the key. It's no good. Rebounded by Washington. They go back down the court quickly. It's Bordley in the right corner, spinning around. Picking up his dribble, goes to Dolman. Dolman drives into the paint. It's his pass deflected, but caught. Gives it right back to Dolman. Back over to, don't know who that is. It's somebody wearing number 20, and we didn't have a 20 on the roster. We're given. Shot up, no good.
I wonder if that's
by
Ben
Washington.
Hale. I think that might be Ben Hale, potentially.
Okay, Max Anderson with it. Go to Anderson for 3. That's no good. Tipped around and rebounded by Gore. Hale, who we think it is, out there for Washington with the ball now, passing to Dolman. Dolman fakes a pass, gives it over to the left side for Gore. Goes to Hale. Hale down low to Welty. Welty shot up in the paint, no good. He gets his own rebound. The second one way too high off the rafters, or the antenna that connects the basketball hoop to the ceiling.
I was actually, before you even said anything, I was trying to figure out who 20 was. I think sometimes, as we can tell with Machado, that sometimes the home and away uniforms, there's different numbers from time to time.
Yeah, for the away uniforms, the one that wears number 20, Sean McCarthy, and that's not him. He's wearing his typical number.
I was going to give Hale
15.
some credit for a good board that he had on a couple possessions ago on defense. Nice box out against, I think it was Max Anderson.
Jones with it, driving the left side baseline, and he'll have a layup for Spring Mills to fall through, as that's Jones' first 2 points. Timeout called by Spring Mills. We'll take the 30-second break with them. 5:13 left in the fourth. Spring Mills 63, Washington 35. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV10, back in 30.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Welcome back here to Washington High School, quarter number 4. Spring Mills leads Washington 63-35. Fourth quarter brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons, as well as the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state area, they have you covered. Off the Spring Mills timeout, it is Washington basketball. Score will inbound to Dolman. Dolman starts his dribble down the court now, at mid-court. Over, cross into the offensive attack area. It's Hale now off the pass of Dolman. He'll go to Sean McCarthy at the top of the key. Finds Hale at the left wing. He dribbles, gives it to Dolman. Dolman gets triple teamed, loses his balance, but passes it back out to Hale, who goes to Gore. Gore to Dolman, who tries to drive in again. This time 4 Cardinals surround him, and he kicks it out to Hale. Hale at the left wing, drives to the elbow, puts up a shot, and that is good. So Hale has his first 2 points, making it 63-37, as we have it confirmed by the PA announcer. That is, in fact, Hale down there, so good job, Dylan.
And been some good minutes from Hale as well.
Bush with it for Spring Mills to Jones. Jones drives in, kicks it out to Crawford. Right corner 3. Rattles around and in by Crawford. That's his first 3 points of tonight, making it 66-37 Spring Mills.
It's a much better attempt from him than his first 3 was.
Gore with the basketball for Washington goes to Dolman. Dolman kicks it out to Machado, who pump fakes. Finds Hale. Hale at the top of the key goes to Gore at the right wing. His 3 way off and into the hands of Xavier Anderson for Spring Mills, who goes to Opoku Achampong. He'll bring it down the court now for the Cardinals. Pass it in the left corner for Jones. Jones dribbles to the elbow. Looks out to the top of the key. Finds Bush, who hands it over to Opoku Achampong. Out to Jones in the right corner. And Jones will get called with a travel. Clock stops with 3:46 left here in the fourth. Washington gets the ball. Dolman gets the inbound. Slowly bring it up the court for Washington. Pass it over the left for Sean McCarthy. McCarthy almost had it stolen by Bush, but now passes to Dolman. Dolman at the right elbow. Falls backwards. Well, it looks like they say he might have actually had a push-off of Xavier Anderson, and Dolman will get called with an offensive foul. So that is his second, team's first of the quarter, with 3:32 left here in the fourth.
That Avery Brown checking in, wearing number 25 instead of 24 tonight. He showed some good minutes, the freshman did, in the Skip Fowler.
Bush driving in, kicking it out to Crawford, who pump fakes and will now pass it to Opoku Achampong. Goes to Jones at the left wing. 3-pointer no good. Rebounded by Crawford out to Bush. Bush at the top of the key. Dribbles in. Kicks it out to Jones. Jones goes to Xavier Anderson. Anderson pump fakes. Now passes to Opoku Achampong at the top of the key. He'll drive the right side, kicking it out to the corner for Jones, who drives the baseline, kicks it out to Crawford. Right wing 3. Around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Jones. Jones goes to Anderson. 2-pointer no good. Rebounded by Bush. His shot is good. Spring Mills extends its lead now to 68-37. Dolman to Gore. Gore draw a foul here with 2:39 left in the fourth. Waiting to see who that foul was against for Spring Mills. So that is the first team foul of the quarter for Cardinals. Now it looks like that is the third foul called against Jones. McCarthy to Dolman. Dolman to Hale. Hale back to McCarthy. 2-pointer. No good. Just grazes the rim. Rebounded by Spring Mills. It's Jones. Back the other way. 1v2, but he wins the battle. Gets a layup He now has 4 points, and Jones makes it 70-37 as Spring Mills just continues to pour it on here against Washington. Dolman almost lost his footing now, puts up a shot. That one's no good, rebounded by Jones for Spring Mills, and he'll charge down the floor for Spring Mills and now slow it down, give it to Opoku Achampong. Back to Jones. Jones kicks it out to Bush. Bush thinks about the three, instead tries to go down low to Xavier Anderson. Anderson gets pushed from behind, and his shot is good. Make that now 8 points for Anderson.
He might be able to get himself in the double digits before the night's over, and I think that'd be the whole starting five in double digits.
You'd be correct. He's at 8 now, trying to make it 9 with the free throw. 72-37. Spring Mills leads Washington. 1:53 left here in quarter number 4. All 8 points for Anderson coming here in the second half as well. His free throw up. No good, so he stays at 8. Rebounded by Washington. McCarthy kicks it out to Machado. Long three from the left side. Rattles around and is good by Machado. That's his first 3 points of tonight, making it 72-40. A timeout taken by Washington. We'll take the 30-second break with them. This is West Virginia High School Boys Basketball on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done, because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School. 72-40. Spring Mills leads Washington here in EPAC boys basketball, as it looks like the undefeated season for Spring Mills will continue. They'll improve to 9-0, get to 2-0 in the conference. Washington will fall to 5-4, 0-2 in the conference, as both teams have used 3 of the 5 timeouts allotted. Both teams now come back out onto the court. Looks like an inbound for Spring Mills will be taken now here on the right side. Bush to inbound for Spring Mills. Passes right in front of him to Jones. Jones brings it up the court for Spring Mills, breaking midcourt. Now passing it over to Boquay, back to Jones. Jones running the offense, passes to Bush at the top of the key, goes back to Boquay at the right wing. Into the corner goes Bush. He'll now find Crawford, back to Boquay. Boquay has it ripped out of his hands by Barry, and Barry dribbles down the court for Washington, passes to Machado. Machado, though, can't handle the pass and just tips it out of bounds accidentally. And the turnover gives the ball to Spring Mills with 1:17 left here in the fourth quarter. As everybody from the bench in now for both teams here in what some would deem garbage time, getting some experience for the younger players. Boquay with it for Spring Mills, going through his legs, now passing it down the court to Bush. Bush picks up his dribble, passes back to Boquay in the right corner. He'll dribble his way out to the wing, picks up his dribble, finds Crawford running over to him. He goes over to Bush, Bush to Jones. Jones to Crawford, right corner three, around the rim, no good, rebounded by Washington. That's Brown with the rebound. He'll go to Machado. Under 45 seconds left here in the fourth. It's Barry with it for Washington, passing it to Machado. Machado, the left wing, goes over to Hale. Hale starts his dribble over to the free throw line. Will pass it to Watkins. Watkins passing it to Barry. Barry goes to Machado. Machado puts an awkward shot in the paint up. It's no good. Rebounded by Spring Mills' Swanson. He'll go to Jones, and Jones will slowly bring it down the court. We'll see if he just dribbles it out or not, if Washington allows him. It looks like they will, as there's 13 seconds left, clock winding down. Both teams slowly make their way up off their benches, and we'll get ready for the handshakes as Jones continues to dribble it out here. 3, 2, 1. The horn sounds as the clock hits 0, and Spring Mills gets the win over Washington. Your final score, 72-40. Both teams shake hands. We'll keep it here for now waiting down below for Dylan Bishop to be joined by the victorious head coach of the undefeated Spring Mills Cardinals, that being Luke Sample. So we wait for the handshake lines to finish, and then we'll send it down to Dylan with Coach Samples, as gets a great big hug from his former Cardinal DJ Boardley of Washington now. Continues down the handshake line as both teams go to the locker rooms as well. Great game. Spring Mills 9-0 now, 2-0 here in the EPAC. Washington again falls to 5-4, 0-2 in the EPAC, as Coach Miller and Coach Samples now shake hands at midcourt. Dylan waiting for them to finish their conversation and see if Coach Samples can come over to Dylan or not as he walks by, and Dylan lets him, as one of his assistants tells him to come over to Dylan. So, Dylan, whenever you're ready, take it away with Coach Samples.
All right, down here with Coach Samples. Coach, decisive win for you guys tonight. Overall, you guys played well on both sides of the court, only held them just about 40 points here. How'd you feel about your team overall in the win tonight?
I'm like the worst person to ask. I'm so hard on them. Yeah, we played well. We were a little sloppy. We need better offensive flow. We're really good in transition. Our defense was pretty good for the most part. I'm proud of them. I mean, it's really hard to play with that number one on your back. It was the first game we played with it, and we have some adjustments we need to make. But I mean, Washington's pretty good. I mean, they're a good team. They can score with the best of them. I mean, we gave up 39 points to Martinsburg, 49 to Morgantown. We gave up 28 in the first half. Now, luckily, we scored 45. But that's a credit to Washington. They had a good game plan. Coach Miller's going to do a great job. And our guy, DJ Boardley, I mean, he did really well in the first half. We had to kind of slow him down in the second half.
And I think your defense has stood out, at least to me, because you have so many guys that are versatile and you guys can switch those screens. What does it mean to have those guys that, they can kind of have so many guys that can kind of guard 1 through 5?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret. And you put, I'm just the coach of this team. If you put another guy in here with this kind of talent and work hard and try hard and make the kids work hard and be disciplined, anyone's going to be able to play with these guys. They're really, really, really good at basketball. They're very, very talented. And my only job is culture, really. I mean, the X and O's, like I told them in the third quarter, our best X and O's is when you get the ball, go right around them. I mean, that's honestly all I have to do as far as X and O's. But, yeah, defensively, man, we're tough. Those kids are tough. They're long. They're athletic, and they're willing to guard. And, again, Washington posed some problems in the first half, and we had to adjust a couple things, but we did a good job with it, and the kids did really well.
All right, when you go in there and talk to your team, what are you going to want them to take away from this game?
Every day get better, man. We're going to get everyone's best shot. That's how it is, and I'm glad we're to that point. So back to work tomorrow. Hopefully this rain and snow and all that crazy stuff stays away. My goodness, I was worried about tonight. But, yeah, just every day get better. We've accomplished being number one in the state, and again, personally, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of these guys for doing that. That's a lower goal, man. We want to go to Charleston, and in the EPAC, you guys talk about it, I talk about it, every coach talks about it. It's really good. Every night in and night out, you can get knocked off, and I think the hardest place to play in the EPAC is Musselman. I do, and we play there Friday night. Coach Basile does a great job with them, and they're big, they're strong, and it's just fun. We haven't won there in my tenure, so we're trying to do it first. I mean, it's always good to do first, so we have to focus, learn from our mistakes, and go into Musselman and be ready for a really, really good game.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys.
Back to you, Colin.
Thank you to Dylan Bishop alongside Spring Mills head coach Luke Samples. We'll step aside, take a 3-minute break, and then be back to wrap things up on the Palace Lounge post-game show. This is West Virginia High School EPAC Boys Basketball here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
I do.
I do. We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
Can't believe you didn't fill up.
That's double my rent. Not my car.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
We got double the Rock's gas rewards, 6 cents off a gallon.
You had one job.
It's between girls.
Save now with double the gas discount. 6 cents off a gallon with Rock's Rewards.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why owners just do more no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Welcome back to Washington High School. Our post-game show is brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu, daily specials, and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out their menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Tonight's final score, Spring Mills 72, Washington 40. Colin McLaughlin here for Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV10. Alongside me is Dylan Bishop. Our cameraman was Aiden Sensible. Back at the studio, Nick Verzolini, and we'll get into our post-game stats. Brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to FordofHagerstown.com. We'll start off with Washington, as the leading scorer for the Patriots tonight was DJ Boardley, ending the game with 12 points, all of them coming in that first half. So as you heard from Coach Samples there in that post-game interview, they kind of had to slow him down, and they did just that there in the second half. Behind him was Gore with 7 points. Dolman and Sean McCarthy had 6 points each. Welty had 4 points, and ramping up the scoring for Washington was Machado with 3 points to total up the Patriots 40. For Spring Mills, the leading scorer was Caleb Thomas with 18 total points. Behind him was U. Smith with 15 points. Max Anderson had 12 points. Poku Achampong with 10. Xavier Anderson with 8 points. Jones with 4 points. Crawford with 3 points. And then Bush with 2 points for the 72 total for Spring Mills, as that's your post-game stats. Brought to you by Hagerstown Ford. Before we get into tonight's awards, Dylan, just allow you to get your final thoughts in here of tonight's ball game.
Well, Coach Samples kind of said it. These guys are really good at basketball, the players on the team. They really are. The starting five for Spring Mills is incredibly impressive all across the board. And they all do different things, but they complement each other. But the things that they all do the same are the important team parts. They all play really good defense. They hustle. They can make shots. they're hard to beat. And if they can beat Washington this badly, the rest of the EPAC is going to have trouble too. I understand, we said it coming into tonight, that Washington was likely the team at the bottom of the EPAC, but it wasn't a slight against Washington to say that, because like Coach Sample said, like we said, talented team. DJ Boardley tonight was good for them. Missed some of the second half with that leg injury that he ended up coming back in from, but and Spring Mills, they're number one in the state for a reason. Caleb Thomas, I can't, obviously I haven't seen every team in the state, but he seems like the best player in the state.
Let's now get into tonight's awards. Starting off with the rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street, Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777. Visit their Facebook page.
Well, Caleb Thomas had a handful of blocks tonight, and it's hard to really just pick out one. I'll go with, I want to say it was his fourth one that he had on George Welty. He was just a menace on the defensive end as a rim protector. 6'7", really athletic, long arms. It's a recipe for a guy that can really defend the rim incredibly well, and he has good timing to go with it. Good, defensive IQ. So he had a handful of them tonight. It was hard to just pick out one. But I'll go with that one since it was a block one. His fellow 6'7" player on the other side for Washington.
How about tonight's moment of the game, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley Medical Center, and Jefferson Medical Center, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
I'm going to say Loke Uth Smith's third three-pointer of the first half that he had. He ended up having 15 points, I believe, in just the first half, and he didn't score in the second half. But that was just a sign to me that, I said it during the game as it was happening, that U. Smith looks like the kind of guy that if he was on any other team in the Eastern Panhandle, we would probably be their best player, and he's comfortably the second best on Spring Mills. And you can even, what the other guys in that starting lineup do is different from him. So other guys contribute a lot to the team as well in different ways, but he was just making really tough shots at some point. They were not leaving him wide open for all of them. He was wide open for at least one of them, but not all of them. And he's just a smooth scorer. It was really impressive to watch.
Last, our player of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer. Visit them at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg or online at Orsini's.com. Who's tonight's Orsini's Home Store player of the game, Dylan?
It's Caleb Thomas. Led the team in points, 18. Had 4 or 5 blocks at least. And he affected a handful more, probably just as many shots as he blocked. He, caused the misses just by being there, contesting the shot. And on the other end, he can shoot threes. He can go up and dunk with ease. He can pass the ball too. He has good vision, running the floor. He's an all-around great player.
So that'll wrap things up tonight. Our next basketball broadcast will be girls basketball Thursday evening as Hedgesville is at Martinsburg. 7 p.m. pregame, 7:30 tip for that girls game. Our next boys basketball broadcast isn't until Friday night as Martinsburg is at Hedgesville. Again, 7 p.m. pregame, 7:30 tip for that one. Final score, Spring Mills 72, Washington 40. Spring Mills 9-0 now on the year, 2-0 in the EPAC. Washington 5-4 overall, 0-2 in the EPAC for Nick Verzolini, as well as Aiden Sensabaugh and Dylan Bishop. I'm Con McLaughlin signing off. This has been West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told, you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
WVU Medicine Jefferson Medical Center is proud to announce that our total hip and knee replacement surgery programs recently earned the Joint Commission's Gold Seal of Approval. Achieving this prestigious Joint Commission certification distinguishes Jefferson Medical Center for the excellent care our orthopedic team provides at every stage from pre-admission to acute hospital stay and discharge. It also demonstrates Jefferson Medical Center's ongoing commitment to improving patient care. WVU Medicine, leading healthcare here and everywhere.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you into the Postgame Scoreboard Show. I'm Nick Verzolini. And once again, your final score here tonight from Washington High School. Spring Mills beats Washington 72-40. In other EPAC action, Jefferson leads Musselman currently in the third quarter 37-30. In men's college basketball tonight, West Virginia held a 42-40 lead over Kansas State at halftime, but that lead has completely slipped away as Kansas State now leading in the second half with just over 4:40 to go, 71-56. So the Mountaineers are most likely going to fall to 5-10 and 0-2 in Big 12 play. In other Big 12 action, Houston has come back against Iowa State. It's 50-49 there with just over 4 minutes to play. Iowa State clinging on to a 1-point lead. Cincinnati trying to upset 25 Texas tonight, 73-72 in that ball game. Texas Tech leads Oklahoma State 40-31. And BYU takes on Baylor tonight at 9 p.m. In other college basketball, and then we'll wrap things up here on the post-game show. Actually, let's check on NBA and NHL. See, the Wizards aren't in action tonight. They play tomorrow, I believe. And then the Capitals aren't in action either. So real quick, we'll give you some other college basketball, and then we'll wrap things up here on the scoreboard show. In men's college hoops tonight as well. Kentucky leads Missouri 79-70 with 6:20 left in the second half. Purdue will take on Nebraska tonight. Duke takes on Pitt. Texas A&M battles Auburn. Colorado State will battle Boise State. Wyoming, Utah State, Creighton, DePaul, and San Diego State and San Jose State going at it tonight as well. So that does it here for the N1 Scoreboard Show. I'm Nick Verzolini. Once again, your final score, Spring Mills 72, Washington 40. We are back on Thursday with girls basketball as Martinsburg is in action here on TV 10. But that'll do it here for tonight for West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a good night, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford of Martinsburg. Rocks. the Dutch Miller Auto Group, the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Brown's Funeral Homes and Cremations, CMA Honda, Craig Blair for State Senate, Orsini's Home Store, the Mansion Peretti Law Firm, the Berkeley County Health Department, Hagerstown Ford, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Modern Realty Results, the Palace Lounge, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.